Today I'll be sharing with you how to print make using materials from your house. The first step is to go on a scavenger hunt and find some materials to print with. You'll need to find these supplies: some plastic wrap like saran wrap or bubble wrap, some cardboard, glue, scissors, paint, a table saver, a paintbrush, a cup for water, and some blank paper. The first way to make this print is by wrapping a piece of cardboard or sturdy board with saran wrap. From there, I'm going to pour a color of paint in my paint container that I like and start painting directly on the plastic wrapping. It's really great to have a table saver underneath, so when you're painting, you're not painting directly on the table. And when you're happy with the coverage, you find a blank piece of paper. I'm using a computer paper here, and then you plop it down and peel to reveal your special print. And each one is different and unique. So from here, I just trimmed the excess off using a pair of scissors, and I had myself this textured background that I'm going to use in a drawing later. So you really can choose any color you want or mix a combination. And who knows what you'll create when you do this textured plastic print. And I chose to go again and make a second one just to see what might happen when I layered my next time. This is a Collage printmaking plate, and to make one of your own, you get some cardboard or sturdy paper and you layer like you're building a collage. And I'm sharing with you 3 different formats. One is an abstract shapes one. The other one represents a space that I enjoy. It's my kitchen. And this one's just a playful triangle one with a squiggly line that I cut to make a frame and border. And I'm painting with acrylic paint over top of the cardboard. And I used a glue stick to glue down those shapes, and I let that dry before I started painting. And then with this step finished, I'm going to make sure that I have a piece of paper, and I'm just hovering over the print and I'm covering it and gently pressing down, giving that paper a nice massage. Ooh, the paper likes a back rub before you peel to reveal, and then you inspect your art. And in this case, I noticed very messy edges, so I chose again to cut around the print with scissors, and I was much happier with the look of the final print after I cut out around those edges, because it really did clean up that print. And there I have also some nice brush strokes from the paintbrush I was using to apply the paint to my Collage plate. And I didn't want to waste any paper, so I trimmed the edges off the excess and I painted the paper again, the Collage plate again, to make a second print. Unlike monotypes, Collage plates and all the prints that we're doing in this video, you can make multiples of. So these are multiple prints you can pull from the same Collage plate. So that's part of this fun process. And from there, you're going to hover a piece of paper over your plate, cover it up, and press down gently. You really want to have clean hands for this part of the process. And don't worry if you get a few smudges or paint splotches on the back, then you peel to reveal that print. And ooh, I really like how this one turned out much better because it's against that clean background and I didn't have to cut anything apart. So I wanted to just see what happened if I added some water to my paintbrush to apply before I painted the Collage plate that represents my kitchen, and this one turned out a bit more interesting and had like a watery effect. So when I placed the piece of paper down over top, I was curious to see what might happen when I gently pressed down and went from corner to corner. And again, that peel to reveal. And this one had a much more watery look to it. Oh my goodness, do I have a treat for you? I saved the best for last. This is bubble wrap, and I'm painting over top of the bubble wrap very gently to make sure that I'm not popping any of the tiny bubbles. From there, I filled up all of those dots with a gentle layer of paint, and I placed a piece of paper on the top of that, gently massaging the painted spots. And it's really hard, but you're going to have to force yourself not to push down too hard. And whoa, check that out. That's an amazing texture and background for something that you'll work on over the course of your time with these prints. You can make that the background for a collage. You could use markers and draw over top of it. You could fill in all of the negative space, the white space in between each bubble, to see what you could color that in using. There are so many endless opportunities for you with this texture, and I wanted to see what would happen if I painted an even larger piece of bubble wrap. So I noticed that if I put too much paint down, even the white space surrounding each bubble filled in with the paint, but that might be what you want to have happen. So maybe that's the effect that you're going for. And you really want to try your hardest not to pop all the bubbles when you gently give that paper a nice gentle pat. But it's up to you on how much pressure you put down, and you never know what will happen. And when I peeled to reveal this one, I was so inspired by the crackly edges of each bubble that were a really neat effect in my opinion. So I'm excited to overlap a collage scene with this one. I think I want it to be a honeycomb with jelly instead of honey inside, where there are bees inside of that honeycomb and they are making tiny PB&J sandwiches. Get it? Okay guys, have a lot of fun making your prints, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. If you're excited to share some of these, feel free to send an email or reach me on Twitter at CamelotESArt so I can get an idea of what prints you're working on.